Okay, so Genesis 1:26, and God said, "Let us make man in our image." And so the free will worshipers read that and they go, "See, that means free will." Like just ipso facto, they just jump right to it means free will. We're image bearers. That means we got a free will. Like ipso facto. Just automatically, that's what that means. And I saw a Calvinist yesterday do similar. They'll read the verse, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and then, well, he says, well, and yes, that means we have a free will, but not the same kind of free will as the free will worshipers. It's a different kind of a free will. They got their own kind of free will, and then they, boom, jump to the Westminster Confession and start reading the Westminster Confession. Well, as if they're reading the Bible. You know, if the Westminster Confession explains it, well, I believe it. But I don't care about the Westminster Confession. It's not the Bible. And besides, the Bible explains what the image means. If you just keep reading, it explains it. Now, God's likeness or in the image of God is mentioned 5 times in the Bible. And here's 2 of them, in verse 26 and then in verse 27. But in verse 26, it explains what that image is. And it's the image of God, not the image of a man. See, the free will worshipers reverse it. They got God in their image, God in the image of a man, with a free will. They reverse it. But it says, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and then there's a colon. And the colon indicates what's coming after it, refers back to what was before it. Let him have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his image, and male he created them. So the image of God is a man having dominion over the earth, the cattle, the creeping things, and the birds and the fish. That's the image of God. That's the image of God. Not the image of a man, the image of God. God has dominion over the man and everything. That's the picture of God ruling over everything. And this word dominion here, so if you, in Hebrew, this word dominion, it means like a stewardship. This Hebrew word for dominion, radah, I think it is not ever mentioned, is not ever referred to God. Not ever in the Bible. Not once. As far as my research went, not once. This is specifically for a man to mean like a stewardship over the fish, the fowl, the cattle, the creeping things upon the earth. That's the image of God. It reflects who God is. It's a picture, that thing, that specific thing. The rule over the cattle, the earth, is that specific thing, is the picture of God ruling over the universe. A picture of it. So now, let's go to the next place that image of God is mentioned. And that would be in Genesis 5. We're talking about the lineage of Adam. Now here, it doesn't mention the creeping things. It's the only place that doesn't. The book of the generations of Adam, in the day of God created man. In the likeness of God he made them. And that's all it says. And it goes into the lineage of Adam up until Noah. So you get to Noah, and that's the next place that it mentions image of God. So in chapter 9 of Genesis, you have God bless Noah and his sons. This is after the flood, of course. Be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon the beast of the earth, and upon the fowl of the air, and all things that moveth upon the earth, and upon the fishes, and the sea. Into your hands they are delivered. Dominion over the creeping things, the fish, the fowl. Specifically, it mentions it again. And then God makes a covenant with Noah. So again, why does it mention that? And then you're going to see why. It's defining what the image of God is. And it's mentioning the It's mentioning the same thing back in Genesis, specifically what the image of God is. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even the green herb have I given to you all things, but flesh with the life thereof, meaning the blood, which is the blood thereof, you shall not eat. So now God is ruling over the man, dictating him, dictating to him how he's going to have the stewardship. He's making a covenant. And surely your blood of your lives will I require, at the hand of every beast I will require, and at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of a man. Meaning if you kill a man, spill the blood or eat the blood, you have to die. Same with an animal. I'll kill the animal. Who sheddeth man's blood. You kill a man, you have to die. The animal kills you, he has to die. So he's dictating the rule of the man. He's dictating the dominion of the man. And who sheddeth blood shall blood, image of God. For in the image of God, the ruler over the things. Specifically the ruler over the things. Not a free will. Not a free will to choose to make choices. It's specifically the ruler over the things, the creeping things. It's always specifically that. And it's spelled out here. The same as in Genesis 1. Over the things, the creeping things, and the fish and the fowl. That's the picture of God ruling over his universe. A King of kings, Lord of lords. And Daniel in the dream of Nebuchadnezzar. And God besets the ruler of the lowest of men. And he rules over them and dictates what they do. As Nebuchadnezzar found out. No free will. I mean, if there's ever an example of no free will, it's Nebuchadnezzar. And then in the book of James, chapter 3. So it starts down in verse 7. So in James chapter 3, verse 1 through 6, he's talking about the tongue and how powerful the tongue is. Like the power of the tongue. So watch your tongue. It can destroy things like a fire. It can burn things. Because every beast and bird of reptile and things of the sea has been tamed by mankind. So again, it's that image of God is brought in here because he's going to use the word image of God in relation to the tongue. But no man can tame the tongue. It is an unruly evil full of deadly poison. With it, the tongue, we bless God and Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in the similitude of God. Meaning they rule over the birds and the fish. So your tongue is a powerful thing. It can even take down the ruler given by God to rule over the beast in the field and the fish. It can take down the ruler. You see that? That's how powerful the tongue is. But again, it doesn't say who have been made in the similitude of God, meaning they got worth and value. No. It's the tongue can take down the man who is a ruler over the fish and the fowl and the birds and the creeping things. Same as in Genesis 1. Same as in Genesis 1. Your tongue is powerful. That's the point. But back to Genesis 1. So you see that the image of God is this specific thing. Not a general free will over everything to make choices in your life. Choose God. There's no verse that says choose God. It's the image of God is the man ruling over the earth and the creeping things. That's the picture of God ruling over his universe. The King of the kings, the Lord of lords. That's what made in the image of God is. Not free will. It's the opposite of free will. The opposite.